Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host, Gavin Hatch. This is episode number 105, and this week we are going over to Disney's Animal Kingdom for a quick visit and then over to the Magic Kingdom to take a look at some stuff along the monorail route and also in the park. So we're starting over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. We went there the other day in the evening, early evening I should say, around dusk, and we rode Safari, which is a good time to go. The lines have been short at all the attractions this past week just because right now we're in between seasons where spring break is over, summer hasn't really begun yet, so all the parks are pretty quiet and it's a good time to go. It's getting warmer, that's for sure, but it's still a good time to go if you don't want to wait in long lines and don't have to make reservations for fast passes or buy express passes over at Universal. Now at Safari, you can see here from this picture, you have some zebras, there were a lot of them running around. They ran around the truck, which is really cool. But the thing that I want to point out to you is this kind of like mesh temporary fence looking structure. It wasn't actual fence, but it is a mesh cloth, so you can kind of see through it. But they had these all around the attraction, so as you were on Safari, it was just everywhere, and I didn't know what it was for. I was thinking at first that was going to be there's some construction going on, but in fact it's being used because they have lots of new animals being brought into the Safari attraction, and they use this as kind of like for training, to train those animals their boundaries and where they can go and where they can't go. So this was something that I'm not sure how long it's going to be here for. It really isn't too distracting, but obviously kind of takes away from the look of really being in Africa and out there in the safari. So it's on a safari, I should say. But it's it's necessary for those animals and for training them. Now over at the Tree of Life, I've noticed that they added some additional projectors on the other side, the opposite side, the back I should say, of the Tree of Life. Now they started doing those projection shows this past summer, and those projection shows were done just over in the front where you walked over from Discovery Island where the stores are located, but now they have added to help alleviate the crowds that were gathering in front of the tree, and you can see those same projection shows over on the back side of the Tree of Life. So these are huge projectors, and you really can get up close to these, and they are on all throughout the day. There's a fan going, and they have to have that fan on because the projector inside has to be projected from the heat in order to keep the quality and of course the machinery running for the evening shows. So you can see here this is a huge massive piece of machinery and quite impressive. Kind of is sticking out there, so maybe they'll add some foliage and plants around it to kind of camouflage it better, but you can see that it's just really cool. And if you haven't seen the projections on the Tree of Life yet, I highly recommend going out there one night and doing that. Now leaving Disney's Animal Kingdom, we got onto the monorail over at the TTC and stopped over at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort real quick, and when coming off the monorail from the monorail station into the Great Ceremonial House to the right hand side, I noticed that they had the area set up inside for the Highway in the Sky Dine Around. Now this is something that's recently added, and it allows you to have 5 courses of food between 3 different resorts at Walt Disney World. Now you have Disney's Contemporary Resort, you have Polynesian, and you also have the Grand Floridian. What you do is you start over at Disney's Contemporary Resort, you'll check in at the Wave, and then you'll go ahead and have appetizers and cocktails there, and then you get onto the monorail, and you will stop over at Disney's Polynesian, and that is where you'll have most of your actual entrees and your food, as well as more drinks, and then you go over to Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa and have more food. And then you go back over to the Contemporary, where you will have you get a chance to go up on top of the Contemporary, so up to the roof, and they'll have dessert and coffee, things like that out there, and you can have a private viewing of Wishes. And of course that will soon change because Wishes is being discontinued, and we'll have the new Happily Ever After fireworks show up in the sky. But this is something that I have not experienced myself. If you have, please comment below because I'd love to see what you thought of it and if it's worth it. But it's definitely something that I like this idea. I haven't really seen a lot of people do it. I haven't heard a lot of reviews, but it is something that is, it keeps things fresh, doing something different while you're at the park, especially if you go to Disney a lot. It's always nice to do something different like this. Now over in the Magic Kingdom Park, and now I've noticed everywhere at Disney World, they have these new card readers. So if you are paying with a debit or credit card, you can go ahead and even, I believe, still your Magic Band. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure there is an option to go ahead and put your Magic Band down on this. But I noticed that they have these new card readers. They're much larger than the old ones. They're more user-friendly, it appears. But I did notice every time I bought something, I had to swipe my card twice. and there was not a chip function. It did allow me to go and swipe, but you can also use your phone, I believe, to tap and pay if you have the Apple Pay or Samsung Pay. So that's something that I noticed. Now, if you're looking to use your card to buy something, you can buy a Coca-Cola. You can see here that this is really cute. I love this. I found this over by the Little Mermaid attraction. Now, over in Fantasyland, you have the Share a Coke on Main Street specially marked bottles of Coca-Cola, only found at Disney World, maybe at Disneyland too, but I know that this is something you won't find in a grocery store, that's for sure. So this is kind of cute. Now, recently added and opened over in Tomorrowland, right by and in front of the Space Mountain attraction, you have Joffreys Revive. It's a coffee, espresso, and pastries kiosk, and it's quite nice. It blends in very well with the surroundings. It looks like it's been here forever, even though it is brand new. It's a completely new structure that was added into the area, or should I say into the land, and they have some specialty drinks and things like that. One particular is called Mission to S'mores, and it is only found here. It's a latte, and I got some pictures here of what they look like. So it's, you know, typical coffee drink, but it is kind of themed to, of course, the land and Tomorrowland, and also Space Mountain, which is kind of a cool idea. Taking a look at the prices, you can see they have all kinds of just different specialty drinks here from Joffrey's. You know, it's your typical coffee, you know, theme park pricing, not, you know, the cheapest thing, but, you know, if you are looking for a little boost, you can go ahead and come over here and get some cool stuff. They have the Island Swizzle iced tea, all kinds of different things like that, which it sounds delicious, especially because, again, like I said earlier, it's getting so warm in the parks. This is a great option if you are looking to go ahead and get something to cool off with. So a great addition over in Tomorrowland. Getting back on the monorail, taking it back to the TTC, I noticed that we were passing Wilderness Lodge. They are really coming along with the DVC expansion over there. These, I want to say cabins? I'm not sure what the official word is or the nomenclature that they're using for these new DVC options over at the Wilderness Lodge, but they do look really cool and offer some great views of course, the monorail, and probably you can even see part of the Contemporary, but you are getting a great view of Bay Lake and the water taxis and all just the waterway there. It's fantastic. So this is a great addition. I really like what they've been doing with DVC accommodations, especially over at Polynesian Village Resort. We saw that start over there pretty much with those bungalows that are really popular and beautiful, especially the interior of them, not just the view, but this is a great addition, and I can't wait to hopefully take a tour of this once they are officially open. Well, that will do it for this week's edition of Photo Finds. I hope all of you have a great week. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, comment below, and of course share it with all your friends and loved ones that love the parks. And subscribe to Attractions Magazine. Until next week, make sure you get out, you have fun, and you enjoy those parks.